I do think the biggest takeaway from what we've heard so far is around North Korea. The two leaders, President Trump and South Korea's leader, both expressing sort of shared optimism on, making progress with North Korea. So we'll have to wait and see sort of what comes together around there. President Trump mentioned, that he might be heading to South Korea very soon, which could ultimately lead to a meeting potentially with North Korea's leader. So, anytime North Korea gets mentioned here at the White House, it's definitely one of those things that people get very excited about. So, South Korea came in today to talk about trade. It's not surprising that North Korea came up and sort of took over on the trade conversations.
Skylar, of course, we know that South Korea is a major trading partner here for the United States. What is the president looking for more broadly from its conversations with South Korea?
Yeah, so what we saw from the trade deal between South Korea and the U.S., South Korea had floated a $350 billion investment fund. So what we're trying to, sort out today is where does that fund stand, and sort of just defining, how much that's going to be and sort of what that looks like. What we've heard so far is South Korea today mentioned a $150 billion investment around shipbuilding. President Trump said that the U.S. Would be buying ships from South Korea, and then South Korea, vice versa, would then be building ships here in the U.S. So, that's sort of been President Trump's goal all along, is to bring manufacturing back to the U.S. through tariffs. So we're still waiting to sort of see what those details actually look like. But so far, that's sort of what we have been able to understand around what this meeting has concluded.
Like instances in the past, when it comes to the president and what he said on social media about somebody, things change a little bit when they're actually side by side. Can you explain the way that the president talked a little bit about South Korean politics on social media, but then sort of eased those concerns when he was with the president?
Totally. I think that post we saw this morning is sort of true Trump fashion. It's no secret that he, constantly posts on Truth Social, on his social media account. And that is what we saw today with the reports coming out of South Korea. President Trump sort of gave his opinion on where he was, on sort of how he evaluated what was going on. And then in the meeting, definitely felt like there was sort of an easing of, what was going on in South Korea. So, there's still a lot of questions on sort of where President Trump stands on what is going on in South Korea. So I think we'll have to sort of wait and see and sort of closely follow that development there.